Happy day children. San Academy Pallikaranai, Class 6 Science, Biology, Chapter 14, Water. This is part 1 of video. Water. So water is very important on our earth, and without water, life as we know, it would cease to exist. So while earth has an abundant reservoir of water covering 3/4 of its surface, fresh water is merely 2.6% of the total water. So water is precious, fundamental, and the most essential substances required for the existence of life on earth. So water is found naturally, abundantly on our planet earth. So 2/3 of the total earth surface is covered with water. So our body is also made up of 70% water, and we use water for a number of reasons, from cooking to cleaning and drinking, etc. Water available for use. About 3/4 of Earth's surface is covered with water. So that's why we call Earth as a blue planet, that is water planet. But do you know how much water is readily available for use? So most of the water, about 97%, is in the seas and oceans as salt water. So this water is too salty to be used for drinking and irrigation, and only a minimum fraction, about 3% of the earth's water, is available to us as fresh water. So out of this, 2.997% is locked up in the mountains or glaciers, or it is deep under the earth. So only 0.003% of the fresh water is easily available to us in the form of groundwater, river, lake, streams, moisture of soil, and water vapor, etc. So in this chapter, let us learn about the uses of water. So it is needed for our daily purposes like drinking, bathing, washing, cleaning of vessels, etc. So our body also consists about 70% of water. So therefore water is very essential for our life. So water helps animals and plants to grow, and water is essential for the germination of seeds, required for irrigation of crops, to generate electricity, and also to run flour mills, also used in industries, etc. Let us learn about the different sources of water: rain, well, tap, rivers, streams, lakes and ponds, glaciers, seas, ocean. These are the different sources of water. So if you see lakes and ponds, these are the small reservoir of water created by the collection of rainwater in lower areas. So this water is seepage in the groundwater and also added water in the lakes and ponds. Rain, the very important source of water for us. All sources of water are fed mainly by rains, river and springs. So most of the water which remains human beings use for drinking, washing and farming comes from rivers and springs. So the river flows down the mountainside and across the line, finally flowing into an sea or ocean. Next is ocean and seas. So most of the water of the earth is found in ocean and seas. Ocean acts as a habitat for a number of plants and animals. However, the water found in oceans and seas is not fit for drinking or agricultural purposes because it contains large amount of salt. Snow. Some regions of the earth are covered with snow, especially during winters. So water formed by melting of snow is also another source of water. Next we are going to see about water cycle. To know how these rivers get their water from, we need to study a little about the water cycle and the process of evaporation and condensation. So the constant circulation of water from the earth to the atmosphere and back again is called water cycle. So plants give out large amount of water from their leaves. So the water vapor rises up. Tiny drops of water together form clouds. So when the water drops, the clouds become too heavy, they fall on the earth as rain. This is called precipitation. Some rainwater seeps down into the soil and gathers underground as groundwater. So the process of conversion of water into its gaseous state called evaporation, and the conversion of vapors into water is referred to as condensation. So water cycle can be defined as the process through which the water gets evaporated from open surfaces like ocean sheets and get condensed as it rises in the cool atmosphere and ultimately pours around as precipitation back into oceans, lakes, river and ponds. So the other name for water cycle is hydrologic cycle. Transpiration is the process of evaporation of water from the surface of the leaves into the atmosphere is defined as the process of transpiration. So in the process of water cycle, the remaining water can get back to the ocean water. So ocean water is salty, that is saline in nature and cannot be used directly. So when it's get evaporated, it leaves behind the salts and form clouds. As the warm water from these surfaces rises into cold air of the atmosphere, saturation and condensation occur to form tiny droplets of water which results in cloud formation. That is precipitation, nothing but raining. So precipitation, the clouds carry small droplets of water in them. It may happen that many droplets of water come together to form large sized drops of water. So the water drops in the clouds become too heavy, they fall on the earth as a rain. So this falling of water drops is called precipitation. Rain, if the water during precipitation remains liquid till it reaches the surface of the rain, we have rains. If the precipitation may be in the form of hail or snow, we call it as hail or snow. You can see in this picture the differences between the rain, hail, snow, mist, dew drops, etc. So these we can call it as the different types of precipitation. So dew, many times especially during winter nights, the area near the surface become quite cool. So as a result, the water vapor present, it condenses to form tiny drop of water. So this water drops appears as dew, that we call it as dew drops. In the part 2 video, we will study about the drought and the flood. Thank you children.